Hello, welcome to another video, and I think I need your help. So, I don't think I've really talked about this at all on my channel or anything. I don't think I've brought it up once. I am actually going to be a uncle. Relatively soon, actually, at this point. Time is flying. I'm getting married in like less than 2 months. I'm now going to be an uncle in midsummer. It makes me feel extremely old. Partially terrified, but at the same time not that terrified, because like at the end of the day, it's not my kid, if that makes sense. But just the fact that like, I'm a 25-year-old that is basically a 17-year-old, you know, if that makes sense. Like, I'm mature, but at the same time I'm not mature. So, I feel like being in charge of any sort of child, like having that as any sort of responsibility, is a bit terrifying to think about, and like having to actually think about things that there's no way I ever have or would. I was at their house last night, and I went to plug my phone in and learned, didn't work because they had a cover on the outlets at their house, on every single outlet that's not being used. I sat there and thought, like, I had a second of being like, the fuck is wrong with them? Why they have outlets everywhere? And then they said, because they're having the kid. And then my other thought went, it's not like this kid's just gonna be a free-range chicken and just go wherever the fuck it wants. It can't walk by itself or anything. How's it gonna be anywhere close to an outlet, let alone unsupervised by an outlet? And then the point was brought up to me that kids learn to crawl relatively young, and I didn't know that. I have a weird problem that I don't know ages very well, of like when kids and such learn to do things, if that makes sense. Like in my head, I can't think of like past, I don't even know what age, maybe 12. And like I feel like I was a smart 12-year-old. I feel like everyone kind of just thinks that. Oh my goodness. Get the pistol headshots going. But essentially, it made me sit there and think, wow, I am behind the times in the being responsible department. But then the good parts of being an uncle kind of creeped in my head after I thought to myself, holy shit, I am not ready for anything close to this. Just the fact of being responsible for someone else when I feel like I am borderline not responsible with myself. But then I had the thought in my head that this isn't going to be my child, it's going to be my nephew, so I get to be the fun uncle. Show them video games first when they're not supposed to, and get them like stupid but fun outfits. Because I thought of this because Kaylee had sent me a Dragon Ball outfit kind of thing, like a dad wearing a Dragon Ball shirt, and I said to her, God, aren't you going to be thrilled when we have a kid and I get them a little baby Dragon Ball set? And she's like, no chance. And then it hit me, I could just get, thank you, sir. I can just get it for my nephew, and he'll at least wear it for sure one time. Get to live out my childhood dreams of wearing fucking anime outfits through my nephew, because I never did that as a kid. But I thought about it, and part of me wants the nephew to have a similar childhood experience for like video games and such that I had. I had an older brother the whole time, so I was pretty much got accustomed to video games at a younger age than I feel like, you know, my brother was, because he was older, so he did it, and I just fucking tagged along because I was there for the ride. The first memory I have of any video games was my brother getting a Game Boy, what was it, Game Boy Pocket, I'm pretty sure it was. So being that the Game Boy was our first console that I can actually like remember having, first game with actual memories would be Pokemon Red, I'm pretty sure. My brother had Pokemon Red, and we played the absolute shit out of all of Pokemon, and basically there's a lifetime addiction, thank you very much. So I think Pokemon's gotta be like one of the perfect games as an intro to video games. Just the simplicity of it, the child-friendly part of it, you know? It's not too egregious towards kids in any way. It doesn't teach them any sort of serious violence. Not like fucking you're not shooting people with guns. But honestly, I do think Pokemon is gotta be like the perfect starter video game. And I remember the first time I ever played Call of Duty was Modern Warfare 2, which I think came out in 2009. So that would make me 11 years old playing Call of Duty for the first time. And I'm pretty sure my older brother is the one who bought me Call of Duty for Christmas that year. God, I'm sure my parents were just fucking thrilled when they saw me open up that fucking game. But yeah, that's kind of my little small crisis I'm having in my own head about being an uncle. That's coming up way faster than I can feel like I can prepare for. But my thought of needing help was the fact of, is there any advice that is out there, essentially? What to expect, what to do, what not to do besides the basics, because I feel like knowing the basics is just a given. God, this fucking loser with the goddamn brecci of MW2. Also, yesterday I decided to cut my grass for the first time this year. And I made a mistake and I pushed it off for probably two weeks too long. And it's been raining here a lot, which added to the fact of it being pushed back, which also led to the fact of the grass being absolutely long as shit. It was the worst experience cutting grass I've ever had in my life. I've always enjoyed cutting grass. I've never understood why people hated cutting grass. Like, I've always thought of it as like more of a therapeutic type of situation for me personally. Like, I just put headphones in, I'm live my life, I cut grass, nothing happens for 20 minutes. Yeah, life is good. I'm just sitting there cutting grass. Holy, it was so long, the lawnmower literally just stopped for probably 25 times because it was too long and wet to go through. And I couldn't not do it. And then add in the fact that I'm feeling it today because I have fucking dog shit allergies. And like, for being honest, everyone has allergies in the spring. Like, I feel like it's just human genetics that you can't go through life without allergies at some point. And like, I have them like relatively bad that like every single spring I'm sneezing all the time and it's so terrible. And with how long the grass was and how wet it was, all last night sucked. All day, all morning, I didn't think I was going to go to work just because I felt so crappy. Made it to work though, because I'm a fucking champ. I'm surprised I even made it, but it was horrible. It really was. If you don't have spring allergies, I fucking envy you and hate you at the same time. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support of the channel recently. We're getting somewhat close to 100 subscribers. I'm at 89, so be exciting to get to 100 sometime soon. Consider subscribing. I do post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get the Orion camo. It's been a little crisis in my head also thinking about, but please leave a comment, any sort of support you could have for me for turning into an uncle. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week. I hope you have a great weekend. Peace out.